You know that feeling, right? When you catch your own reflection out of the corner of your eye and, for just a split second, it feels strange, like you're looking at someone else. We're about to dive deep into a legend that twists that exact feeling into pure terror. A story that asks a chilling question. What if the face looking back at you isn't yours anymore? Okay, let's set the scene. It's 3 a.m., the witching hour. That specific time of night when the world just feels a little thin. And your mind? Yeah, it's vulnerable. And the house is completely, utterly silent. The only sound is the one inside your own head. This isn't a peaceful quiet. No, it feels heavy, watchful. There's no one to call out to, no one to break the spell that's starting to form. You are totally and completely alone. A weird restlessness has pulled you from your bed. Something just doesn't feel right, and it's leading you somewhere. So we've set the stage. And now the curtain goes up on a very private, very terrifying show that starts, like it always does, with a simple mirror. You flick on the bathroom light, you see the familiar tiles, the sink, all of it. It's all just how you left it. You glance up, expecting to see your own tired face. And you do. Well, at first. Your brain registers it before you can even really process what you just saw. A tiny, tiny detail that's just wrong. A glitch in your reality. And there it is, the first crack in your world. A simple, impossible delay. Your reflection is on its own schedule. And your heart just freezes. Of course, your rational mind just scrambles to explain it away. It has to be a mistake. You're just exhausted, right? Your eyes are playing tricks on you. That's the only answer that makes any sense. So you stare, you challenge it, trying to prove to yourself that you're just seeing things. And that is when it happens. A slow, slight curl of the lips. But it's not your mouth moving. The face in the glass is looking back at you with an intelligence and an intention that is absolutely not your own. So, what is really going on here? See, this isn't just a simple ghost story. It's a story about the psychology of the self. So, let's break down the mechanics of this particular brand of terror. This brings us to the whole idea of the doppelganger, the double. And psychologically, this is so terrifying because it strikes right at the core of our identity. It taps into that primal fear of being replaced, of literally being erased. The legend suggests the mirror isn't a portal to some other world. It's a prison for another you, a shadow self, built from your own fears, waiting. And here's the real conflict. It's you, the one you think you control, versus this other thing, an entity that isn't some monster from the outside, but something built from the inside, from your own anxieties. It knows exactly what scares you because it is your fear, given a face. So how does this whole confrontation play out? Well, it's a battle of wills, and it has one very, very simple and very frightening rule. Now, this is the crucial part. The thing in the mirror can't take anything from you by force. You have to give it. Your fear is the key that unlocks its cage, and looking away, that's the act of you handing that key right over. See, this isn't random. It's a process. It's a hunt. First, it waits for 3 a.m., when you're alone and tired. Then, it triggers your deepest fear by doing the impossible. A smile, a delayed blink. And all it needs is for you to flinch, for you to look away. Because in that single moment, it seizes control. The swap is made. So the transfer's done. You looked away? What happens now? What happens to your life now that something else is living it? Does it go on some kind of rampage? Does it reveal its true nature to your family and friends? What's the devastating consequence? Absolutely nothing. And honestly, that is the most terrifying part of this whole legend. The thing wearing your face knows how to be you. It goes to your job, it talks to your parents, it laughs with your friends. It performs the part of you perfectly. Because it's had a whole lifetime of watching you from the other side. But there are signs, if you know where to look. Little imperfections. A smile in a photograph that doesn't quite reach the eyes, a sort of vacant stare when it thinks no one is watching, and of course, a deep, unsettling need to avoid looking at its own reflection for too long. And this leads us to the final, gut-wrenching twist of the story. The ultimate reveal isn't about what happens to your life on the outside, it's about where you are. The real horror is this shift in perspective. You, the consciousness listening to this right now, you're not the one who's walking free. You're the original. You are the one trapped behind the glass, watching a stranger live your life, powerless to do anything but reflect its every move. And that's the true power of a story like this. It leaves you with a question that just sticks with you. So the next time you see your reflection, will you have the courage to hold its gaze? Just to make sure it's really you looking back.